on the tee, representing Golf Club Darmstadt Treiser, Germany, the backpacking golfer. Yeah, thanks. Yep. Thank you very much for tuning in. The very first episode of me playing a golf course. So this was kind of for fun. I just thought I'd try filming every shot on a round and have some fun with editing. So yeah, here I am on the first hole of my home course. This was in mid-June. I wanted to hit a slight fade sort of on the right side of the fairway. This didn't happen, so some are warming up here. This was a cold start, 7 a.m. But the advantage of knowing the place you play is you know where to miss, and it's much more friendly on the right hand side, even though that's quite thick rough. So this was a 6-iron just out of the rough, and here I wasn't quite sure. This is about 160 yards up the hill. You can see the flag just a tiny bit popping up behind that hill in the distance. Yeah, by the way, I only use a driver, 2-iron, 6-iron, 8-iron pitching wedge, and a lob wedge and a putter, so 7 clubs. That's kind of the maximum I can get on my backpack. So yeah, this was not too good actually, but it was too far, so I just tried to give it everything with the 8-iron, but came up short. But then this happened. This was quite amazing. I really thought this would be long and left because the green slopes quite heavily, but I just holed out actually, and this wasn't staged. So I guess just beginners YouTubers luck, I don't know. But yeah, you can hear the birds are loving it, obviously. So all right, off to the second tee. So this is 185 yards to the pin. It's a really tricky hole because there's death on the right. It goes down like about, I don't know, maybe 40-50 feet on the right hand side, and I wanted to draw it in with the 6-iron, but didn't make it happen, and it didn't come in. So I was quite lucky actually that it's still a bit wet there, because it actually held that slope. Yeah, and this was actually almost went in again, but just a bit past the hole. So one thing about this is, by the way, I was trying to do shot tracers on many of my tee shots and approach shots, but I guess the lighting conditions or whatever, or the app or the frame rate, I don't know, something didn't quite work out. So I'm trying to do that in the future. It's just a little more entertaining. But yeah, here this putt, so you can see I just yips pushed that out to the right, too short, made bogey, back to black numbers, back to even par. So yeah, here you can see this is a bit dark actually. I was trying out some manual settings on the camera, but yeah, I love this tee shot on the third hole here. It's just I can give it everything every time, and this was a bomb. Like, just started towards the right edge of the fairway and came back towards the left center. And yeah, by the way, so I'm filming this with my Canon M50, and I've only got this one kit lens here, and I would love to zoom in more, but as you can see I can't. So yeah, so if you like this video, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, and maybe one day I can afford a new lens. That would be great. So I was kind of confused about the distance here. I don't know, I keep looking, and so the flag is somewhere near that, just below that lone tree there, and it started out quite well, but it drawed a little bit too much. Also caught it a bit fat, and it's my miss hit that's gonna be, you're gonna see this a lot. I laid it off at the top, and then I closed the club face too early and make those toe hits. So yeah, this was for birdie, I guess, about 30 feet. Left it short again. A lot of short left putts. Yeah, this is just a a nice view to enjoy, to show you that this is actually quite a nice place. This little 9-hole course I call my home course. It's a really lovely spot, and this is probably the easiest hole on the course. 125 yard par 3 uphill. Yeah, so the green is quite shallow. That's a bit tricky, and you can't see the hole or the green because it's slightly uphill. But I've hit that shot I don't know how many times. So yeah, it's probably time here for some on-course commentary. Ain't this just a beautiful morning out here? I've got to tell you, I don't usually wake up this early, but damn, it feels good to be the first out on the course. It's really beautiful. As I said earlier, so this is really an experiment, this kind of video. I don't know, you never know what people end up watching on YouTube, so I guess, I don't know, I'd just give it a try and see if you maybe like this video. So this was a horrible putt. I left that way short, and you've got to know these are the putts I hate, and this one actually ended up lipping out. So that's a bogey from 10 feet, which is yeah. So if you really think this is going to be worth watching, you'll have to be with me through that putting. Really bad sometimes. I can do magic, but for every time I do magic on the green, I just really mess it up 10 times. But 1 over through 4. Quite lucky actually, considering that first chip in, but there'll be a few more birdie chances. Let's go. Alright, so the 5th hole is a tricky par 4. The tee shot is quite tricky because it's quite tight down there, so you can't see the landing area. It slopes to the left, there's bunkers on the left and trees on the right. And this is I tried to hit a little cut, a little low fade with the 2-iron, and it came out not quite. It was more of a thin draw, but it was one of the shots where you know right away, so this wasn't quite the way I wanted to hit it, but it's definitely gonna be fine, and it's the most important thing here to get it on the fairway. Well, here's some little impressions here. Alright, second shot from down there to the green. The flag is somewhere where that lone tree stands in the distance, right near my head actually, and as it slopes right to left here, I'm trying to hit this quite a big draw with my wedge, and this was really one of the best shots of the round. I hit it exactly the way I wanted to hit it, so birds are loving it. Just hope it's really as close as it looks. I think it's a bit short, but it'll be a birdie chance to make up for that horrible 3-putt on the last hole. Alright, so this actually was a bit further from the hole than I thought. So this is about, I guess, maybe 15 feet, 18 feet up the hill, and you know the deal. Of course you know the deal, I hit it short. And this one was really, I was a bit mad about that, but yeah. I guess I really should have had like 1 cup of water before going out of the house. Seriously. Concentration on the putting. Okay, so this is one of 2 sort of drop shots, par 3s, together with the 8th hole. About 180 yards down the hill. This is usually an 8-iron. I was trying to hit a little draw, but I hit the same kind of shot that was really my go-to miss hit this round. Drawed my 8-iron just a bit too much, or actually pulled it a bit too much. It's just off the green, but it should be a safe par if I can get it close enough, which would be like 10 inches. This is actually a special chipping technique I sometimes use for very short chips, because I find the movement of like short chips really hard. So I put the toe on the ground basically and just make a hard putting stroke. And yeah, that's just from lies in the rough. That's a lot easier. So some beautiful morning impressions here. And off to the 7th tee. And this is a beautiful, beautiful tee shot. I really like this view. And yeah, I'm kind of, this is a hole I don't really like because I often end up hitting it right. So yeah, you know, this was sort of the standard miss hit, which is actually could have gotten me into a lot more trouble if, for example, like 2-3 feet further and I would have been in the really thick stuff. So this was actually quite alright, but ball below my feet and about 185 yards. I only have the 6 iron. I lost balance here a little bit. So that was alright, really, but nothing too spectacular. Just maybe got it on just the edge of the green on the left, but I think, yeah, might be a putt, but like a 20-meter putt, and you know what it is with the putting. It's gonna be difficult. Challenge, come on! And now off to this sort of, yeah, I guess it was about 65, 60, 70 feet. And the screen slopes, there's a ridge going left to right. And this was just, oh, I love this. This was so smooth. You can see I love it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Alright, but you know, well, this is kind of the putt that's, yeah, I just start shaking. And you can see I really yipped that out, but this time it went in. So this is actually starting to look like pretty solid par golf. Boy, that putt actually really, I yipped, pushed that out to the right, but it still went in. Lucky this time. Don't want to have you guys following an over par round, so I've got to make birdie. Okay, so the next, yeah, kind of sort of drop shot, par 3, number 8. This is a bit shorter, and this is 160 yards down the hill, which is kind of between the distances for my 8 iron and my wedge. So I was trying to I don't know, hit a little cut, but this just turned out completely different. I will have to make more committed swings. Yeah. So I kind of draw this. It's pin high, thankfully, and it's not quite on the green. It's on the fringe, bordering semi-rough. Should be an easy par, but you know what I was going for. This is a quite severely breaking green actually, so I have to hit this a good, I don't know, 1-2 yards, I guess, out to the left. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, I thought this was a good stroke actually, but I guess I underestimated yeah, how wet the greens still were. Okay, so this is a 6-7 foot putt, I guess, and I usually don't make a lot of these, but this was really important, right on the line, and I was really happy I made that. Yeah, just great. Yeah, but still loving it. Okay, got one last chance for a birdie. It's doable actually. Yeah, 330 meters, so it's about 370 yards, I guess. But you have to be careful with the driver because it's getting really tight there, and there's a lake behind the bushes over there on the right. So my good old weapon, 2 iron. Not gonna hit the low Scotch punch, but just gonna try to draw it nicely into that wide part of the fairway. And from there it's gonna be 8 iron or pitching wedge. Okay, so the fairway is actually quite wide in that part where that 2 iron would land, about, I guess, 210, 220, 230 yards. It's a lovely tee shot. And yeah, this was actually the one shot tracer that worked. I just hope this, I can make this happen more often in the future. So this is actually a bit longer than I thought. It's about 130, 125 meters. The front of the green. Pins, I'd say another 20 and 145 meters up the hill, playing like 150. Still a good 8-iron. It should be just a perfect, nice little 8-iron. Pins in the back left. I'm gonna try to draw it in from the right. We'll see. Alright, so this is the grand final basically. I love this approach shot. It's actually a lot more uphill than it looks. So about 165 out, and I was just giving it everything, trying to draw the ball to that flag where you see it in the distance, and this was just heaven. That was definitely the most well-struck shot on the round. If you look closely, you can see it landing right next to the pin there, which is in the back left section, sort of a tier on the green. And you're never quite sure if it's got the right distance. Okay, so I hope this is as close as it looked, because it was right on the pin. Pin's sort of behind a little bit of a slope there. Seriously, I can't promise you those kinds of scores around par every time, because once you're out on the links course and it's blowing, it's a completely different game. But look at this. Look at this. It's a pitch mark there. But look at this. Yep, that's enough. Thanks. That's just beautiful. We've looked at it. Great. Fantastic. Yep. Alright, so repair that pitch mark and off you go into the hole, little ball. Yeah, if I don't make the birdie putts, I'll just have to get it that close. Okay, so that's it from my home course here, and it's a beautiful place. And on the one hand, I say that because I grew up playing here. I've got a lot of memories attached to this place, obviously, but I guess it's kind of where maybe a little part of my appreciation for little 9-hole courses comes from. And I don't know, it's really, I mean, some of the shots you have to hit from really, I don't know, steep side lies or hillsides, so it's quite challenging actually. And it's short, but it's actually really tough to score really well if you're a long hitter because of the par 3s. So I don't know, it's a charming place, and lots of chances if you play well, lots of tricky shots, and so I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think, or if you have any comments or questions, just please post them down below. And I never thought I'd say this, but yeah, please hit that subscribe button if you liked it. I'll see you guys next time.